Welcome to my YouTube channel, Rick Surowicz Watercolor. This video is one in a series of videos I'm doing of Christmas cards for 2020. I hope you enjoy this, and if you do enjoy my channel, be sure to subscribe by clicking on the icon in the lower right hand corner if you haven't already. And if you do like this video, be sure to like it and share it with others. This icy winter scene is my 2020 Christmas card, number 4. You can find the link for the template for this in the description of the video. Hi everybody, this is Rick. I am in my studio, and this is the 4th Christmas card in my series of 2020 Christmas card videos. And this is another scene that has water coming through it with some trees and some snowy banks. And this is going to be a limited palette. I liked it, but on this one I'm not going to use any masking fluid as I have in the previous 3 that I've done for this series. This one's just going to be direct painting, and as with all of them, I'm working on a 5x7 prefabricated card that's made by Strathmore, and it's a 140-pound cold press. I'm working on a 20-degree angle, and I have this taped to my board with drafting tape, and I've taped it in a manner that's going to leave me a small, about an 1/8 inch border around the card. So let's go ahead and get started with this Christmas card. I'm going to be using sap green and royal blue for this card. So it's going to have a bit of a blue-green feeling to it. Be green to blue-green. And I'm going to begin with just a very light wash over the sky. So this is just a very light wash. I'm going all the way to the edge where it's taped. And I'm just bringing this down to the horizon line and to the grade of the land there. And I'm going to do some wet and wet brush work. And it doesn't bother me that I'm painting over these tree shapes, because I'm just going to paint over top of this wash with a darker value, and you won't see it. So there's the slope, the grade of the land, and a bit of a horizon line here. I'm going to pick up the excess, and I kind of like that gradation that I'm getting there, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. Let me get some of this moisture out. And I'm going to give an indication of some distant trees. This is similar to one of the previous cards in this series, just a little different composition. So I'm going to drop subtle hints of distant trees. I want to get a little richer pigment here, so here's a little thicker paint so that it holds its shape a little better. I still want it to be more on the blue side. So let's see here. These trees here in the distance. It's a little drier over there. Soften those, it's not quite as wet. So there we have just the feeling of a tree line here in the distance. And I'm going to paint just a light wash here, just to help show the roll of the land, give it a little bit of form, so make it more three-dimensional. I'm going to do the same over here. This paper works pretty good. It's a little different than what I usually work on. I usually work on Lanaquarel, but this is a pre-configured Christmas card, or a card, greeting card I'll say, stock. Comes with a matching envelope, or an envelope that fits it, the size. So there we have that. And let me pick up some excess moisture, and I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to come in, I'm going to paint the trees and the ice. Alright, so now I'm going to take this blue tone and I'm going to paint where I'm suggesting there's some ice. Go a little darker in spots, a little darker near the edge. And we'll go to the other side. So there's my ice. Now I need to get a darker value here using the same two colors. I'm going to paint in these kind of Christmas tree looking shapes. Yeah, so I guess that'll work. Cool. Some of this blue. Change that a little bit, a little darker value. Now let's go. We have a couple smaller ones here in the distance. Pick up some of that excess moisture. Now let's paint this a little closer to us. And I'm going to take a little bit of this blue, a little darker, and some of that in. Now I'm going to dry this, and then we'll put some reflections in here. what I used in that sky and put that in here on the water. So now that area is wet. Now I'm going to take some of these colors here and just pick up the suggestion of some reflections, although they're not perfectly aligned. I'm going to pick up some of the trees here, just kind of suggest it. A bluer tone. We'll go like this. Just strengthen this. A little artistic license with a placement. And let me dry this. I'm going to put a little bit of an edge on my ice. So I'm going to take a quill brush here and just give a bit of an edge to the ice and also where it meets the snow. And I'm going to take a damp nylon brush, diagonal, and just lift just a slight suggestion of a vertical mark in there. Could be the trunk. I want to lose part of that. I don't want it to go the whole length like that. I want to break it up. Just a faint indication here of some vertical tree trunks. And let me dry this real quick. And I could fuss with it and go a little darker and do some different things here, but I think I'm just gonna leave this. Let me get rid of some of these pencil marks. What I can. Alarm going off. And there we have it. So this is number 4 in my series of 2020 Christmas cards. Take this drafting tape off. And you can put a message in here. You could write Merry Christmas at the top. But this is just another version of these small Christmas cards that I'm doing in this series. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and look for my other Christmas card videos.